Imagine a moment when someone attempts to undermine your dignity, to publicly diminish your worth. This feeling, this sudden jolt of embarrassment or anger, is a universal human experience. How you respond in that critical instant can define not just the outcome of that interaction, but also your perceived strength and overall psychological power in future encounters. The relevance of understanding such dynamics cannot be overstated in today's complex social landscape. Navigating interpersonal challenges, especially those involving overt or subtle aggression, demands a sophisticated approach. Your capacity for emotional control directly impacts your ability to think clearly and strategically, transforming a potential vulnerability into a display of quiet strength. In this video, we will delve into a strategic framework inspired by one of history's most astute observers of human nature, Niccolo Machiavelli. You will learn not to react impulsively to public humiliation, but instead to master the art of observation and calculated patience, developing a truly formidable Machiavellian mindset against provocation. My exploration into the depths of human behavior and historical strategy has revealed patterns in how individuals navigate power dynamics. While Machiavelli's teachings are often misunderstood, his emphasis on detached observation and strategic timing offers profound insights into maintaining one's psychological power amidst social challenges. To truly grasp this nuanced approach, we must first understand the fundamental nature of humiliation itself and why it holds such potent sway over our immediate reactions. This context is crucial before we can apply the principles of strategic observation and waiting effectively. Humiliation is a powerful psychological weapon, often deployed to assert dominance or compensate for one's own insecurities. When someone attempts to humiliate you, their primary goal is typically to destabilize your emotional state, causing you to lose composure and, consequently, your perceived authority or social standing. This act targets your self-esteem directly. Understanding the fundamental concepts behind this aggressive social maneuver is key. It's not just about the words spoken, but the intent behind them. To provoke a reaction that reinforces the aggressor's imagined superiority. Your immediate emotional response, such as anger or embarrassment, is precisely what they seek to elicit, confirming their success in manipulating your internal state. Different psychological perspectives offer insights into these dynamics. Some view public attacks as a primitive display of dominance, akin to animalistic challenges, while others see them as learned behaviors rooted in social reinforcement. The goal, regardless of the aggressor's motivation, remains to strip you of your poise. Consider an analogy. Imagine you are a chess master. When an opponent makes an aggressive, seemingly brilliant move, an amateur might panic and retaliate immediately. A master, however, observes the board, understands the underlying strategy, and calculates multiple future moves. This detached observation is paramount to not falling into a trap. This strategic detachment is precisely where the wisdom of a Machiavellian mindset begins to converge with the principles of emotional control, allowing you to move beyond reactive impulses and toward a more calculated response. The core of Machiavelli's counsel in moments of attempted humiliation lies in a simple yet profound directive: observe and wait. This is not about passive acceptance, but about strategic patience. When confronted, You are urged to resist the immediate urge to defend or retaliate, instead adopting the posture of a detached observer, gathering crucial intelligence. For example, imagine a colleague making a belittling comment during a meeting. Instead of visibly reacting or engaging in a verbal sparring match, you maintain a calm demeanor, observing their body language, the reactions of others, and the underlying motivation for their jab. This quiet observation allows you to control the narrative. This principle is highly adaptable across various scenarios, whether it's a public slight, a professional challenge, or a personal affront. The initial non-reaction sends a powerful signal. It communicates that you are not easily provoked, that your emotional control is robust, and that you possess a form of psychological power that cannot be easily rattled. However, it is crucial to understand the limitations of this approach. Observe and wait does not mean do nothing ever. It is a first step, a strategic pause, not a permanent retreat. This method is ineffective if it leads to inaction in situations demanding a decisive response later. It's about timing your action perfectly. The true power of this observation becomes evident when you begin to discern the hidden weaknesses and true intentions of your aggressor, laying the groundwork for a more impactful and precise countermove. When someone tries to humiliate you, your non-reaction is a potent display of psychological power. By denying them the immediate emotional payoff they seek, you disrupt their expected narrative and exert control over the interaction. This unexpected calmness can often cause the aggressor to become unsettled or even reveal further vulnerabilities. Consider the practical demonstration of this. If a verbal attack meets only silence and a steady gaze, the aggressor's words hang in the air, often amplified by their own unease. This moment forces them to confront the emptiness of their attempt, as their weapon has failed to land its intended blow. The psychological impact on them can be significant. This strategy applies to many social arenas, from professional presentations where a rival attempts to discredit you, to personal disagreements where a cutting remark is made. In each case, maintaining your composure is an active choice, a decision to not engage in a reactive loop, thereby preserving your internal equilibrium and external image. It is important to differentiate this from fear or cowardice. Your non-reaction comes from a place of strength and conscious choice, not submission. You are not avoiding conflict. You are delaying it strategically, gathering information. This isn't passive acceptance, but rather an active form of emotional control and strategic thinking. By withholding your immediate emotional response, you begin to build an invisible psychological barrier, allowing you to transition from being a target to becoming an analyst of the situation, preparing for a more considered intervention. The Machiavellian directive to observe and wait finds a profound philosophical ally in Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. Our immediate emotional reaction to someone's attempt to humiliate us falls largely within our sphere of control, whereas their actions and intentions do not. This philosophical cornerstone emphasizes the cultivation of inner tranquility and resilience. By embracing Stoic principles, you develop a robust emotional control, training yourself to view external provocations as mere events that do not inherently dictate your internal state. You learn to detach from the sting of insult. Think of it this way: a Stoic masters their internal world, making it impervious to external assaults. When a person tries to humiliate you, they are attempting to breach this inner sanctuary. Your calm, observed non-reaction is a clear declaration that their efforts are futile. Your peace is not theirs to disrupt. A common analogy used in Stoicism is that of an archer. The archer controls the bow, the arrow, and their aim. But once the arrow is released, they cannot control where it lands or what impact it has. Similarly, you control your response, but not the initial provocation. Focusing on your response is where true psychological power lies. This integration of Stoic calm with Machiavellian observation creates a formidable internal fortress, preparing you not just to withstand humiliation, but to leverage it, which brings us to the next crucial step: what exactly you should be observing. The observe part of Machiavelli's counsel is not passive staring. It is active, strategic intelligence gathering. When someone attempts to humiliate you, you must analyze their motivations. Are they acting out of insecurity, jealousy, a perceived threat, or merely a desire for attention? Understanding their why is the first key. Furthermore, pay close attention to the aggressor's methods and vulnerabilities. Do they consistently use personal attacks, logical fallacies, or outright lies? Observe their body language. Are they confident, or do they betray nervousness? These subtle cues can reveal critical weaknesses that can be exploited later, if necessary. This deep observation extends beyond the individual. Consider the context. Who else is present? How do they react to the aggressor's behavior? The audience's perception is a vital component of any public humiliation attempt. Their silence or reactions can offer insights into the aggressor's social standing and the effectiveness of their tactic. Think of yourself as a master detective, meticulously collecting evidence. Every word, every glance, every tremor of insecurity, every slight overcompensation. These are all pieces of the puzzle. This diligent collection of data forms the basis for any effective counter-strategy, rather than a knee-jerk, emotional response. By systematically dissecting the situation and the aggressor's true intentions, you move beyond the immediate insult and begin to identify the levers of influence and potential points of strategic advantage. In the realm of dark psychology, manipulation often underpins attempts at humiliation. An aggressor might be subtly attempting to gaslight you, shift blame, or discredit your character without you fully realizing the sophisticated tactics at play. Being able to identify these covert maneuvers is a critical aspect of your psychological power. Observe patterns in their behavior. Is this a one-off incident or part of a broader campaign to undermine you? Manipulators often test boundaries and escalate their tactics if they meet little resistance. Recognizing these patterns allows you to see the bigger picture beyond the individual incident, which is crucial for a Machiavellian mindset. A common manipulative tactic is to trigger your emotional response. If you react angrily or defensively, you confirm their power over your emotions and often validate their attack in the eyes of observers. The Machiavellian approach, fused with emotional control, explicitly denies them this victory, leaving them exposed and their tactics less effective. Another aspect to observe is the aggressor's attempt to isolate you or turn others against you. A skilled manipulator will try to create a narrative that makes you appear irrational or difficult. Your calm observation allows you to perceive these attempts and prevents you from playing directly into their hands. safeguarding your social capital. Understanding these elements of dark psychology allows you to disarm potential manipulators, turning their attempts against them by simply refusing to participate in their emotional game, setting the stage for a calculated counter. Developing a robust psychological armor is essential for anyone wishing to navigate the complexities of social interactions, especially when faced with deliberate attempts at humiliation. This armor isn't about being invulnerable to feeling, but about building resilience that prevents you from being emotionally hijacked by external forces. Poise, or dignified composure, is a visible manifestation of this internal strength. When you maintain an unwavering calm in the face of provocation, you project an aura of unshakable confidence and psychological power. This projection alone can often deter future attacks, as aggressors tend to seek easier targets. Think of it as developing an inner core of solid steel. While the surface might experience a momentary scratch, the core remains untouched and firm. This mental fortitude, a cornerstone of the Machiavellian mindset, ensures that your emotional state is self-regulated, rather than being dictated by the whims or malice of others. The cultivation of this armor is an ongoing process, not a one-time achievement. It involves regular self-reflection, practicing emotional control in minor provocations, and continuously strengthening your self-perception. Over time, you build an automatic defense system that kicks in when under psychological attack. This strengthened inner self then allows you to move beyond merely defending against humiliation, enabling you to strategically influence the narrative and, if necessary, orchestrate a precise and impactful response. Observe and wait is merely the prelude to the true Machiavellian response. Once you have gathered sufficient information about the aggressor's motives, vulnerabilities, and the context, the art lies in executing a well-timed and precisely targeted countermove. This action is rarely immediate. It is often a delayed, strategic strike. Your countermove should aim to achieve one of several goals: neutralizing the threat, re-establishing your authority, or subtly turning the situation against the aggressor without appearing petty or reactive. It should be dispassionate and calculated, a testament to your superior Machiavellian mindset and emotional control. Examples of countermoves might include a calmly worded question that exposes a flaw in their argument, a quiet conversation with a key observer to clarify misrepresentations, or even a public display of competence that subtly overshadows their previous attempt to diminish you. The key is impact, not immediate gratification. Crucially, the timing of this countermove is paramount. Sometimes, the most effective response is to allow the aggressor to self-destruct through their own poor judgment or lack of support from others, which your observation will have revealed. Other times, a swift, elegant retort is required, but only after careful consideration. This deliberate approach ensures that your actions are not driven by emotion, but by rational assessment, positioning you to maintain and even enhance your psychological power in the long run. After the initial observation and strategic waiting, your next step is to subtly reclaim the narrative without drawing undue attention to the prior attempt at humiliation. This involves demonstrating your continued psychological power through actions rather than dwelling on the past incident. Your consistent competence speaks volumes. This Machiavellian approach focuses on a long-term strategy of reputation management. Instead of engaging in a tit-for-tat battle, you elevate your own standing through excellence and unwavering composure. The true measure of power isn't in winning every small skirmish, but in controlling the overall trajectory of your influence. Consider how you can use your actions to subtly contradict the aggressor's implied narrative. If they tried to portray you as incompetent, deliver an outstanding performance. If they questioned your integrity, maintain impeccable ethical standards. These tangible proofs are far more convincing than any defensive argument. This method also benefits from incorporating elements of Stoicism, where virtue and rational action are prioritized. By focusing on what you can do well and consistently, you render the aggressor's efforts irrelevant. You are not fighting their narrative directly. You are simply building a stronger, more compelling one of your own. This strategic deployment of your strengths effectively neutralizes the aggressor's initial impact and solidifies your position, moving beyond mere defense to proactive assertion of influence. Adopting this Machiavellian mindset for responding to humiliation offers profound long-term benefits beyond just individual incidents. It cultivates a reputation for formidable psychological power, demonstrating that you are not easily swayed or provoked. This reputation alone can deter future aggressors, making you a less appealing target. Over time, this consistent display of emotional control and strategic thinking establishes you as a formidable presence in any environment. People will learn to respect your composure and understand that any attempts to undermine you will likely backfire, reflecting poorly on the aggressor rather than on you. Furthermore, this approach refines your observational skills, making you a more astute judge of character and social dynamics. You become better at anticipating potential conflicts and understanding the underlying currents of human interaction, which is an invaluable asset in both personal and professional spheres. This continuous practice of strategic patience and calculated response builds your inner resilience. Each time you successfully navigate an attempted humiliation with grace and forethought, you reinforce your own psychological strength, making you more confident and less susceptible to external pressures. This refined internal discipline positions you not merely to survive social challenges, but to thrive amidst them, consistently enhancing your standing and influence through measured actions. While a Machiavellian mindset emphasizes strategic advantage and the maintenance of psychological power, it is crucial to approach these principles with ethical considerations. The goal is not to become a manipulator or to engage in petty revenge, but to protect your dignity and influence responsibly. True psychological power, wielded ethically, involves self-mastery and judicious action. It means understanding human behavior deeply to navigate complex situations, not to exploit vulnerabilities for malicious purposes. Your integrity and adherence to ethical standards should always be the foundation of your actions. The principles of observe and wait empower you to respond thoughtfully, avoiding the regret of impulsive reactions. This approach fosters a more just and balanced interaction, as your response is proportional and considered, rather than an escalation born of emotion. It's about self-preservation and strategic justice. Remember that the aim is to maintain your peace and effectiveness, not to dominate others through intimidation. The most powerful individuals are often those who command respect through their actions and character, rather than through overt displays of aggression or manipulative tactics. This discernment is key. By aligning your strategic thinking with a strong ethical compass, you ensure that your enhanced psychological power serves constructive ends, benefiting both yourself and your interactions with others, leading to a truly impactful and respectable presence. Cultivating a Machiavellian mindset, tempered with Stoic emotional control, is a daily practice, not an overnight transformation. Begin by consciously pausing before reacting to any slight or perceived insult. Take a deep breath, mentally step back, and simply observe your immediate internal response and the external situation. Practice active listening and observation in everyday conversations. Notice body, language, tone of voice, and underlying intentions. This trains your mind to be analytical and less reactive, building a habit of detached assessment that will serve you well during more significant provocations, enhancing your dark psychology insights. Engage in self-reflection regularly. Journal about incidents where you felt provoked, analyzing what you observed and how you chose to respond, or how you wish you had responded. This metacognition strengthens your emotional control and refines your strategic thinking, making the Machiavellian approach more instinctive. Incorporate mindfulness into your routine. Being present and aware helps you catch impulsive reactions before they manifest. It fosters a greater sense of calm and allows you to choose your response consciously, rather than being swept away by immediate emotional surges. This is vital for emotional control. These consistent practices slowly but surely rewire your brain, transforming how you process and respond to challenges, laying the groundwork for enduring psychological power. The strategic principles of observe and wait extend far beyond merely addressing humiliation. They are foundational to developing a broader psychological power applicable to virtually every aspect of your life. Mastering this Machiavellian mindset enhances your decision-making, negotiation skills, and leadership capabilities. By consistently applying emotional control and strategic patience, you gain a significant advantage in any situation demanding careful consideration rather than impulsive action. This refined approach allows you to see opportunities and threats that others, clouded by emotion, might miss entirely, providing a clear path to success. Consider how this mindset influences your professional life. In meetings, negotiations, or conflict resolution, your ability to remain calm, observe keenly, and choose your words and actions with precision elevates your effectiveness. You become a person known for thoughtful, impactful contributions, embodying a true Machiavellian strategic prowess. This deeper dive into understanding human nature and strategic timing ultimately empowers you to navigate complex social and professional landscapes with unparalleled confidence. You are not just reacting to the world. You are actively shaping your interactions within it, demonstrating genuine psychological acumen. As you integrate these practices, you'll discover that true strength lies not in immediate retaliation, but in the calculated and composed application of intelligence, leading to a profound transformation in your personal efficacy. You have explored the profound wisdom embedded in Machiavelli's directive to observe and wait when faced with attempted humiliation, bolstered by the resilience of Stoicism and the insights of dark psychology. This is not a passive stance, but an active, strategic deployment of your psychological power and emotional control. The path to mastering this Machiavellian mindset requires consistent practice and a commitment to self-awareness. Remember that every instance of attempted provocation is an opportunity to strengthen your resolve, refine your observational skills, and demonstrate your unwavering composure. Your dignity is within your control. Be realistic about the process. There will be times when emotions get the better of you, but these are learning moments, not failures. The continuous effort to choose a thoughtful, strategic response over an impulsive one is what truly builds enduring psychological power and personal fortitude. If you found value in exploring these deeper aspects of human behavior and strategic living, consider subscribing to our channel for more insights into psychology, philosophy, and the art of mastering your mind. Share your thoughts in the comments on how you've applied similar principles in your life. Embrace the power of observation and patience. Let your calm be your shield and your calculated actions your most potent weapon. By doing so, you don't just endure humiliation, you transcend it, becoming a master of your own emotional and social destiny. This is your ultimate psychological power,